what you are watching right now. This is my backyard. It is May 14th. This isn't a photo. It's 32 degrees outside, and there is snow. Also, welcome to my backyard. I've shown my backyard, I think, once on the show. Probably because there was an animal out there. Oh, here we spilled my coffee. All right. Welcome. Good morning. Today's Tuesday, May 14th, 2019. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Thought I'd give you a little something different. Honestly, the reason that I don't do more is because I forget what's in my house that maybe would not, I don't know, just shouldn't be put out publicly. And I'm in a bathrobe. I mean, let's be real. You gotta be careful when you're in a bathrobe. Things could happen. Here, let's fix this. This way? Here I am. Now I'm back. Okay. Hope everybody's having a great day. I had a hard time sleeping last night, so I screwed up. I had like a little over an hour to get some work done. I was in between appointments. I went to a coffee shop. I had a cup of coffee. It was really good. I drank it all, and that started at 3 p.m. So about 4:30, I was still drinking coffee. And then I went and I coached CrossFit, and then I went to the gym, and I got home at like 9:30, and apparently I was still tired because I went to bed at 10:15, 10:30, and pretty much laid there for 2 hours. So today's gonna be interesting. At least I got some sleep. And I have more coffee. The cycle continues. When you're tired, drink coffee. And then you can't sleep, so you drink more coffee. That's what they want us to do. It's a conspiracy from Big Coffee. I wonder if well, I'm sure there's Big Coffee. It'd be interesting to see what companies move the most coffee. I expect Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts are bigger than most of, if not all, of the home brew companies like, I don't know, Maxwell House and Folgers. My mother drank Folgers growing up. Came in a huge red can. I haven't had Folgers coffee, at least that I know of, in a long time. That's what I used to buy when I first bought a coffee pot, because I didn't know what else to buy. Nobody tells you that stuff is crap. No offense to anyone from Folgers. What else happened yesterday? We took a couple small steps towards our first Taekwondo uniform. That actually looks like it might happen sooner than I thought. So that's exciting. We're gonna have at least one more revision that has to happen before it comes out. We're currently discussing pricing. Because I'm trying to... I still believe firmly that there are products we can bring to market that have a better value proposition on the low end of the scale than others are doing. You know, historically what we've done is said, okay, let's cram all the features we can and have a higher price point. And that's worked well for us. Good morning, Casper. But if there's a way that we can, there's a way we can bring products out that are just so obviously better, but still at a moderate price point, I'd like to do that. I'd like to see how that would work. We'll find out. This coffee is good. Anything else that happened yesterday? Anything of interest? Coffee. Dealt with new car related things. they applied this paint protection. This is boring. I'm not going to tell you this. What else I got? Not much. All right, we're 5 minutes in. Let's do the questions. Apparently, when I'm tired, my ability to process what is entertaining and what is not suffers. Come on. Open. The hell? Why are you flipped? That's super weird. All right. In this information age, we have so much at our fingertips. With all that information, how can we, as Bruce Lee said, empty our cup? It's a great question. Let's say this a different way. How do we keep from being overwhelmed with the information around us? The number one thing we do is we cut back on social media. We cut back on, I'll be honest, content like this. Now, I don't talk about current events. I don't talk about, at least current events beyond me. I don't throw political information at you. My goal here is to give you information about what's going on in my life and some of my opinions in a way that you might digest and use those yourself. But let's face it, it doesn't take long on, especially Facebook, to get overwhelmed by the postings of others, even the negativity of the way that that's presented. We are starting to see information about the medium term, because we don't even know the long term, but the medium term effects of being on social media long term. Of being on social media, period. There are a handful of people in Silicon Valley who their job is to make social media so engaging that we have a hard time staying away from it. They're literally tapping into brain science to make that stuff more compelling. To know your enemy. To defeat your enemy, you have to know your enemy. Man, my words are not coming today. And if the enemy is a social media addiction or information overload, knowing that is helpful. It gives you the opportunity to take a step back. But what can we do? Recognize that it's not that important. Set a time limit. There are apps that you can install, plugins for your web browser that will help you monitor how much time you spend on things. I know of someone else who keeps their phone only in a certain part of the house. They have to stand up while they're using it in that place. They can't just sit there on the couch and endlessly scroll. But there is still an ability to read through this information, as difficult as it is, from an empty cup place. The idea that you read what others say, you hear their words, but you allow yourself to not be so stuck to your opinions. And I think that's the key. And it's something I catch myself doing. Wrong. I consider myself a pretty open-minded person. I have opinions. I have some strong opinions. I'm willing to challenge those opinions, and I'm always willing to have a conversation with someone about those opinions. But it can be really easy, again, especially on Facebook, where we become tribalized. We're taught to feel like we have to identify with some group, and anyone that disagrees with our participation in that group is, some horrendous human being. I don't buy it. It's just an effort to keep people paying attention and yelling at each other. I think that's dumb. When we put out episode 395 on Thursday, it was about dating in the martial arts. I was pretty clear that I didn't feel, still don't feel, that dating someone that is your student is a good idea. Doesn't mean it'll never work. Doesn't mean there aren't exceptions. It doesn't mean that there aren't people who have done that I love deeply. There are, I do. But I can disagree with the action someone took and still love them. Disagreeing with something isn't judging a person necessarily. So if you really want to empty your cup, start by being open. If you want to empty your cup, there's a verb there. You actually have to. I'm not going to do it. Physically turn it and pour it out. You have to take that action. And the moment you can't, the moment that cup is so full that it's overflowing, maybe you weren't being diligent about what you were putting in the cup. Discerning, that's the word I wanted, not diligent. Maybe you weren't being discerning about what you put in the cup. Somehow this picture came through, flipped. All right, we got one more. Come here. Come on, stupid. All right, I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch a tablet. You have said that you do not always deal well with people saying you need to do this or that. That's true. How do you reconcile that part of you with needing to learn so much in martial arts? I have a rebellious streak. Anybody that knows me knows that. Somehow, I derive great joy from doing my own thing. I mean, let's face it, I've been self-employed in some way or another since I was 14. I've had a single full-time job working for someone else, and that lasted 3 months, and I was still building my IT company at that point. I like walking my own path. But when I go to martial arts classes, I'm choosing to go there. No one's making me go. And if the instructor or instructors are jerks, I don't go back. That's happened. I can think of classes that I attended that I didn't like. I didn't like the way they taught. I didn't like their philosophy. Doesn't mean they didn't have something to teach, but I wasn't going to be a good student. I don't think anybody really likes being told what to do. I think there are times when it's easier. I think a lot of people who embrace that, I think it's that it's a defensive mechanism in a way. It's, oh, if this goes wrong, well, it's not my fault. Yeah, and you can say that too. But there's no real safety in that. People get fired every day for doing what they were told to do. You still have to think for yourself. If you don't think for yourself, what's the point? It's interesting to sit here, having done this show so many times, knowing what my brain usually feels like my ability to construct sentences, my ability to take the questions that you all ask or the situations like the snow outside and connect dots, and then to be tired and to know that I can't do that in the same way. I'm still able to speak, but I'm not fully awake. So how do I handle that? Well, I have an interview coming up later today. I'm going to try and take a nap. I'm a big fan of the 20-minute nap. Hopefully that goes well. Yesterday's episode with Professor Cindy Hales has done great. If you have not checked that out, please do. It's available here on YouTube, or you can find it in your podcast feed. Remember, we do this show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. And if you want to ask a question, the best place to do so is below in the comments. Don't forget, subscribe, turn on notifications, maybe throw us a like, maybe share it. It's a fun show. I enjoy doing it, and based on the feedback I receive, some of you are really getting something out of it. So here's your homework for today. I'm moving this to the end. I'm going to keep the homework as the last thing. What parts of your life, your day, where is your cup empty? Where are you willing to empty your cup? And where aren't you? And why? I'm not saying you should always empty your cup. I'm not going to tell you you have to do that. But you should be aware where you're open and where you're closed. If it's a choice, there's power in that. If it's blind, no. That's something that others have conditioned you to do. There's weakness in that. There's power in choice. So, all right. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.